Welcome back everyone. Today we're in the Giants editor on the 10.0.8 version for Farming Simulator 25. I'm Joel and this is the Joel's Peaceful Valley map, as you can see. And we're going to work on the Grain River Silo 01 place. And as you can see, it doesn't have a pre-placed unique ID, and that means we're going to be putting a trigger in. Now some of them have them and some of them don't, and you've seen that on a previous episode with the uh, the the one where we did the train track one. It's off over there where we put the trigger in, and so that the train spout could be filled, the train could be filled with that little trigger. So it's a similar thing, and what you can do is go ahead and get your ground ready. So let me get off all that. Alright, so you're going to go ahead and get your ground ready for this spot after you bring it in, because you need to, if you're bringing it in as a whole piece like I did for the whole place with all the fence, the buildings and all that they had, you're going to be doing some molding at that point. If you make a custom one, then you can just plop it however you got your stuff made. But uh, you know, just depends on how you're making it. You can bring it in accordingly. If you click on here, you can see the reference to the i3D is in here, so you can click on here and go look and see where that is. So it's in map, textures, buildings, Grain River Silo, Grain River Silo i3D. So you could get just this piece with this building without the fence and without the other things in that area. Okay, so if you didn't want all that other stuff, and it comes with this and this building over here. So it just depends on what you're doing. Bring that in separate. You know, you could go to that actual file. Let me show y'all just so y'all can understand. Right click on File Explorer and open one if you got one open that you don't want to mess with. And then go ahead and go to that file wherever your game is installed. And mine is in D drive and yours might be in C drive. So I'll go ahead and tell you real fast at the beginning. Go ahead and go to Program Files 86 if you have C drive. Maybe it may not be there. It could be somewhere else. Steam if you have that, and then Steam Apps, then Common, and then there's Farm Sim. Then you would continue when I get in mine. You could continue. Now this is 19, but that's just because mine's not in here. That my 19 is, but my 25 is in D drive. So then you go to Steam Library, Steam Apps, Common for that one, and see I have most of mine in here. So 25's in here, then data, and I'm first will take you to open how you can open the map, so you can get the building from there if you wanted. So first go to Maps, then Maps US, then go to the Map US i3D, and then double click it, and then click on whatever Giants editor you want. The newest one to this particular FS25 would be 10.0.8. Then click OK, and it'll open. Be patient and let it open, okay? And then it's going to do this and open, and then you can open up map, then locations, then buildings, and then selling stations, okay? Just like the dairy, this one, the dairy, okay, let me explain something. The dairy here, it's technically a selling, the map US, the map EU, and the map AS one, all are just a selling point, okay, until you add it as the pre-place, the placeable one. The placeable one does the production stuff, okay? So they still stuck it in the production point area, but it doesn't do, like you saw on the one I did, it doesn't do the production like the pallets and stuff. But I'm going to show y'all that. I would have showed y'all this on that video, but everything kept happening. The power went out. Then my editing software was doing something, and so it was a long story. So I didn't get to do it in that one. So I'm going to show a dairy, another way of doing a dairy with the placeable one and customizing and stuff, and hopefully I can make y'all understand a little more about that. All right. But in the meantime, it's technically a selling point, and it's only a tipping spot on the map. And but if you come down here to this one, you can see it's under selling stations. They did put it under here. Okay, so this one needs a trigger just like that other one needed a trigger. Okay, So in this case, it's just the i3D reference is how they're loading it. They're not loading it with the XML and on the building part, but on the trigger they are. So you still need the trigger and you still need the XML work, but it's going to be for the trigger and not the building. They didn't attach it to the building, if that makes sense. All right. So basically, if you want to look at that file, you just go to wherever that file is here, as you can see up here. So I'll just briefly take you there, just for the ones that want to go there, and then you just go wherever that is. It says FS25, and then I believe it said data. Where else did it say? Let me go ahead and data maps, textures, buildings. Okay, so just go there to that spot, data maps, and then we're gonna go to textures. Okay, I must have went too far. Map US. Okay, I should have did the map US. Map US, then textures, and then the buildings, and then it says Grain River. So you're just gonna find the Grain River silo, go in there, and then you'll see your i3D. So then you could drop your i3D in straight into your map. Just grab this, left click, hold down, drag over here, and let go into your map, and then you'll have it. And then there's the icon that is going to show up when it uses the XML for that particular one. And I'm pretty sure that that's going to be the XML for the trigger. That's just underneath the trigger information. They're just going to put this map XML path. So basically, it's going to put it to this. I'll show you when I open the placeables XML. Okay, so that's how you can get that, just the building thing, you know, without all this other stuff. Okay, so there you go. Now, if you want all this stuff, you need to come in here and click on the Grain River Silo 01 place. Make sure you get the whole thing if you wanted the fence and everything with it, and then you can do it the same way I've told in previous videos, depending on what you're getting. So if you wanted to get every selling station area building, you would click on that, and it would get this building as well, but it would get the other ones too that has to do with that. So the farmers market, it would get these little residential building things, the grain elevator, the grain barge terminal 1 and 2, and then the river restaurant, and then the train warehouse, and then the warehouse logistics place. So depending on how you want to do it, pick which one you want. Like for a newbie, they may not have added all the buildings yet, and so they're going to want to get the selling station area one, or they're going to want to get the whole buildings thing, which if you do, it's going to get everything within buildings, wherever that goes to. So just be aware of that. Just pick which one you need. I would say break it down. If you don't want too much stuff on the map yet, then I would break it down and just come and get, I wouldn't get the whole locations or buildings. I would just click on the buying station one and export it. Then this one separate, export it. This one separate, export it. Then this one separate, export it. And then whatever other ones you need, like if you need tunnels. Some of this stuff you're going to need for pieces of these buildings, or like the train stuff, because like the sawmill needs certain stuff to do with the tunnel stuff, or different things. So some of it you still want to go ahead and add. Just depends on what you want to do. Alright, so what you're going to do is pick which one you want. Whatever one that is the same process. So whichever one you highlight, it's the same process. Okay, so if you pick the Grain River Silo, just this building with all that, hit File, Export Selection with Files, and so on. And I'm going to tell you, and the same thing if you hit Selling Station Area, it's the same steps after that. So whatever one I pick, don't worry and panic and say, well, she didn't show that one. Well, it's okay because it's the exact same steps. So any one you highlight is the exact same steps. Okay, so I'm just going to say that we're bringing in just this one. Well, I'll just say this one because most people are going to want to bring that in, I would say. Unless you're just doing one building, then you would just get the one building. You're going to hit File, Export Selection with Files. You're going to go wherever your map is on your, put in your files. So almost like your main game map. Not your main game map, but your map that you're working on in your Giants editor. So wherever that is located. So mine's in My Games, Farm Sim 25, and then Mods, and then right here. and then I would go under Maps, Maps US, and then I would make a new folder, and I would title it Selling Stations underscore area, or whatever the building was I brought. So if it was Green River Silo O1 underscore place, that's what I would call it. If it was Production Points underscore area, that's what I would call it. Whatever you bring it in, that's what I'll make a new folder and write and call it that. Then open the new folder. So say we did the selling stations. Let me look. We'll just open up the production point area. Alright, so say we did this. So either one, it doesn't matter. You're just opening a folder. So it could say selling stations. It could say whatever one you brought in. Okay. So you made the folder. You wrote the name right here. Now you open it. This would be blank because you made a new one. Mine's got something in it, but I'm just giving you an example without having to do it again because it's already in my map. And so basically this would be blank, and then you would write it out again. Selling stations area or production points or whatever you added right here in the file name box. Then hit save. Then hit yes and yes, meaning yes to the first question that they asked and the yes to the next question they asked. Game related paths and parent directory, both yes. And then I'm going to hit cancel. You hit yes and yes after you save, and then you'll be ready to import it. So then you're going to leave this alone, but you can leave it open if you want and look around because you're going to need to mold the ground, so you might want to come back and forth and look. Now this piece is separate. It didn't come in with it, and if you wanted it here to match what's in here, you're going to need to click on it to get it because it's separate. Okay, so that one's not going to be in my map right there unless I choose to put it there. It's an electrical box place. So you see, that's what I said about some other little areas or other pieces. If you want them, then you're going to have to go get them. Okay, so then you would have to come get this. And if there's something else here that's not in there in that group, then you would have to get it. But it looks like everything else is there. Just that. Alright, so now what I want to show you is about the trigger. But anyway, let's first show you how to import the building. So I'm going to click off of here. Don't delete anything in here. Don't change anything in here. When you're ready to close, hit the X and then hit no, do not save. That will allow you not to save anything so that you don't mess anything up. It doesn't mean you're erasing it or anything, so don't hit save. Just by hitting no, don't save, just means if you accidentally messed up something or moved something and you shouldn't have by accident by looking in here, then it would not save that and it would keep your original copy the way it should be. Okay, so another thing, we'll go ahead back to your map. Just jump back over to your map where you're working, and then you're ready to import. So then I will come up to file, click on import, and it'll take you exactly back to wherever you were working last. In this case it's this, but if I had typed that out in the new folder and then did the save thing, it would have brought me right back to this building, the one that we're working on, that we just exported. Then you would click it and click open. But if it don't, just go back through your files to wherever you had put it. So say here, and then you would click that if that was the one you brought, and then hit open, and then it'll bring it in. I'm gonna hit cancel since it's already there. Alright, so now you're gonna basically, it's gonna be at the bottom of your list. You need to put it up here depending on what you got. If you just got this building and you have a selling station area that you want to put that within, you're just gonna hit the middle scroll wheel on it and highlight it. After you highlight it, hold it down, hold the middle scroll wheel down and drag up and let go when you get over the selling stations area. If you did the whole selling station area and got all the buildings and you want to put it, you're like, well, I need to put it within the buildings folder that I have. If you would hit the middle scroll wheel, hold it down, drag it up, let go when it gets on the buildings folder, and it will drop it in there so that when you open this, it'll open to this. Okay? And then if you don't have any of these, you need to create them. So if you don't have the one that says map, you need to hit create, transform group, and then over here in this name box, it would say a transform group. It would say transform group. You would write map, and then it would make the map folder. Then you're going to make one, same thing, create, transform group, come over here, write in here locations. Then you're going to make another one, create, transform group, come over here and write in their buildings. Then you're going to click on the buildings. They're going to be all at the bottom when you do this. They're not going to be up here. Then you're going to map should be probably up here. If you should have your terrain, your career start point, and your gameplay probably. I mean, I'm assuming that's how you made your got a blank map if you didn't happen to have map. But anyway, you probably have map there. You just probably don't have nothing else. And then you're going to hit middle scroll wheel on the buildings and drag into the locations folder, let go. Then you're going to highlight locations and drag it, and hit the middle scroll wheel and drag into the map one. Then that'll have them all within each folder so that you can close and say close that if you want it. See? Alright, so now once you do that, you're ready to go to bring it into the thing. So click on the Grain River Silo 01 place, the whole group, this one, don't get down in the list, make sure you get the whole place. And then you can hit, since you put it in here, Control B as in boy, left mouse click, and then it's going to put it over here. Then you can twist it how you want it, lift it up or down. You need to remember that this particular building has something to do with water. So you need to go in the main game map, and of course my water's not looking right because it's not finished. So that's a little bit distracting, but let's just get over here so we can see it better. You need to go in the end game and get the height where this needs to drop to, and then wherever that is, that's where you put the building, because that's what you're tied to. So you need to make sure you've already done your water when you do this building. Alright, so it can make sense. Unless you're somehow putting it somewhere and just you're not going to add water and you'll do something else with this and it's just not in water. I mean, that's how it's meant for water. So if we go back over here, we can look at the water and see this is what it looks like, and that's how close you're going to want to get it to the land. So you're going to eyeball all of that. You're going to get it at that level on this, the water touching at that level. You're going to eyeball this, the water touching this at that level, and how far in it goes. You're going to look at that and say, okay, well, and this ground's going to slant, and then it's going to be water. So you're going to look at all that, and that's how you're going to judge where in the world to put this building. And then you lower it as soon as this touches where you think it's matching what that one is, or however far you want it down, then you're all set. You can stop moving it down, and then you can start molding the ground. Then you're going to come over here and do like I told you, just start molding the ground to the pieces that you got here. You can either use add or subtract, or you can use replace. I usually use replace on the left mouse button and smooth, and I usually use the round unless it's just like near a road or square things that I can need to do that with. Okay, so round when I'm molding most of the time, and like I say, unless it's something I'm squaring up to. Like, see, that's square, you could use it there, but I don't usually use it there on this particular piece. So then you're going to use you could use your make a transform group, create transform group. Just leave it like it is. You don't even got to change the name. It'll say transform group or transform or whatever. Like this one. This one says transform. Then you can see that one's not anything in it, so I can move that one. Then you're going to hit Control B, left mouse click at the level you want the ground to be. So you're like, okay, I want it to touch right here. So that's where you would put it. Or if you want it to come down a little lower than something, you would put it a little lower. Then once it lands there, you hit this translate Y area, right click and hit copy. Then you come to height, click it, and come down to replace down here under the sculpting area. If you have to open it, just click this little arrow, and then click on that with your left mouse button. It'll highlight it. Right click and then hit paste. Then you back out a little bit. Then you come up here and hit sculpt mode, and then when you left mouse click, as long as you put the left mouse button on replace, it'll replace the ground to the level of the dot, because you use this dot as a reference to take this number for your replace option. You don't have to use it that way. You could hover somewhere on the ground and hit Control R if you think that it's high enough or at the level you need, and then do it from there, and then kind of smooth it, and then you can re-grab. So like, see how this is slanting? I could hit Control R over here when I have the sculpt mode on right here, and it'll grab that level, and then I can do something with that. Then I can jump over here if I need something to be a little lower and hit Control R, and then jump back over here if I need something to move down a little. You can use Control R a lot like that. You don't have to just use add and subtract. I actually never use add and subtract, honestly. Now, I'm not finished molding. I just want to be able to get the video. I did enough that y'all can tell I hadn't finished all this. There could be a road we could do a back road, because there was a road right here in River Bend, but we're so close. I might put one that comes around somehow, but there's also going to be one on this side. But I hadn't molded all this perfectly yet. As you can see, it's not finished. You can see where that's going to be the BGA. We ain't quite there yet. Alright, and so basically you're going to get your mold ground going and just put this where it needs to be. Same thing. You want this one's up higher than all the others. Then the fence you got to mold, and of course I ain't done all that perfect yet. But pretty much you just make it smooth where you could drive down it. Like I said, I ain't finished. And you get this part, mold the ground to where this is kind of a smooth ride up in there. Try to get these buckets and things. That's where you're going to look at to put your transform group. Control B, left mouse click to put that there. Then get that number, right click, copy, click on the height thing, right click and paste in this number box. Back out, turn sculpt mode on, then you can get the level of that without, trying to figure it out, or subtract and then add and then subtract. Sometimes stuff just keeps going past it. So do that with all these little things so that they're not floating. Make sure everything's landing on the ground. Once you've molded all that, you're ready to go ahead and do your trigger and your XML work and your store item work. Okay, so do all your fences at a slope and all the different things. And remember that little electrical box in that one was here. Then they had a bunch of trees, and it was all, built up trees. They had all kind of stuff. You don't have to decorate it like they did. As long as you do this part like this, if you wanted these pieces in here, that's fine. But you don't have to do the decorations that way, like the trees or anything like that. Okay? Alright, so then you're going to, once you're done doing that, I would go ahead and hit save. And then you'll be ready to go get your trigger. So what I would do is I would go back into here and back out just a little bit. Come back over here actually. You can see there's a ball up there. I don't know if it's tied in with that, or I'll have to do it separate, but we'll look when we get in there if we'll remember. But basically come stand or put yourself right here where you can see this, because I'm sure that's where the trigger is going to be. And you need to go get the trigger. So go ahead and go to what I would suggest. If you're like, I don't even know where the trigger is. Okay, just relax. Go to the map that where you installed the game at, that area, wherever yours is. If it's in C drive like I told you, or D drive. Mine's in Steam Library, Steam Apps Common, FS25 Data, Maps US, and then you come to Config, then go to Placeables, right click and edit with Notepad++. Come in here and find this information, but in doing so, you can find out where it's at, so you can actually put it in the map. So it tells you it's in Data, Placeables, Map US, Selling Points, Green River Silo, Triggers, and so on. And it's got the thing because you got to put the position and all that. So now you know the path, so you can go find it. And what you can do, if you're like, but I still don't know where it goes, but you technically don't have to put it, since it's just a trigger, it'll be its own trigger. And you don't have to put it where, it could be wherever you put it if you had a different building, so long as you put it what made sense to those buildings that they had the ramp with, if that makes sense. So anyway, let me explain what I'm trying to get to. So basically, you find this. We'll go ahead and copy this into our placeables, and then we're going to go to this path, and I'm going to show you how to get the actual trigger itself in, and then we'll come back to put the numbers. So you're going to left click here, drag over, right click, and click copy. Okay, and then if you couldn't find this, you can hit Control F, and it'll bring this up, and you could just type grain, or you could add the rest of it, grain river, and it'll probably go right to it pretty much. But grain would take you to a bunch of the other ones that have grain, but it would eventually get back to there. So however you want to do it, okay? But just remember, it's grain river silo with the triggers. And then if you notice this path, you can X that out. If you notice, this path is to where I showed you that icon was. So if we go back to that picture that I told you it would be, real quick while we're here, you can see it. See the path? Data, Maps US. Data, maps, maps US. Textures, buildings, Grain River Silo. Textures, buildings, Grain River Silo. Then Grain River Silo, or the map icon, Grain River Silo, and that is the map icon, Grain River Silo. So see, it's the path to this. So even though this trigger is not here, unless this is the trigger, which I believe it said it was the building path, didn't it? Let's open it and find out. I don't want to tell you something wrong. I want to make sure. Okay, see, it's the building. It's not the trigger is my point. And so you can see it's the building. Okay? So if you open that, it's the building. Alright? And so we're going to just hit X and say don't save because we don't want to mess with that. So they're calling this, even though this above it is the trigger, and it's not calling from that area where that trigger is. Because you can see this is in placeables area. So let's go to our placeable since we copied that. We don't want to mess around. Go back to your map that you're working on, and in this case this is mine, 13. You go to the right map, go to config, and then the placeables, right click, edit with Notepad++, come in here, find a place. Now I've got some, like I said, I was doing some stuff. I was going to show it in that other dairy video, but it just didn't work out because of the power went off in the middle of all kind of stuff I was working on. It was just a nightmare. So I'm going to have to redo what I was going to do for y'all. But I'll have to do it later because that was just too much. Like, it was overwhelming, the editor and the power and everything else. So you're going to click to the end of this, so just ignore that because that's not what's been shown. I did show the this other one though. So hit enter at the end of this, right click and click paste, and that brings in the Grain River Silo trigger thing and the icon, which we just showed you. And all we'll need is those numbers, but we don't have them yet because we got to go get the trigger, and then we'll also need to do the store item. So I say hit save, and let's go ahead and do the store item, and then we'll do the trigger itself and put the numbers in. So go back to the main game, store items, right click on it, edit with Notepad++, and come and get this line of information. If you have a blank store items area, then you come get this one, right click and hit copy, and then go take it to yours. If you have this like I did and left the whole thing in there, then you don't even got to add it because it's already there. Isn't that wonderful? Now if you make a custom one, again, you'll have to change the path. Okay? Alright. So, and you notice they put this one under selling points, but they didn't put the dairy under selling points, even though technically it is a selling point. Yeah. But they do have a placeable one that is a production point. Okay, so but we'll talk about that in a future video. Alright, so now we need to go to ours so I can show y'all, just for the sake of the video, that's not the right one. You got to make sure you're in the right one. Go to my map, store items, edit, and then of course mine's already in here as you see because I left this whole thing in here. If you didn't, you would click up here, hit enter, then right click and hit paste, and it'll paste in the store item. Now I never did copy the store item, so it's not going to paste it in, but if I had, that's what would happen. Okay, so you needed to copy the store item obviously, and then I'm just going to back that up and hit save. There. Now since it's in here, you don't have to. If you had done it like I said, do it in a previous video. Now, we'll go to wherever that path is for that trigger, because that is where you need to go. And you're like, oh, I don't remember. Well, go back to your placeables XML. Right click, edit with Notepad++, come in here. And then this path here is where you need to go. So let's go there, and you'll see the trigger. So let's go here. It's going to be placeables, so data first. They're talking about wherever you installed the game at, that's the path. Then you're going to go to Maps US. Wait, what does it say? Placeables, my bad. Placeables, then Map US, then Selling Points, because it says Selling Points. Then you go there, then it says Grain River Silo. So you're going to find Grain River Silo, 01 triggers. Open that. You see in here it's got an XML. And this XML here, that right there, is this XML. Right click on it, edit with Notepad++. Your placeables calls this XML, which in turn calls the i3D to that one that you have in your your well, to your trigger. This one is your trigger i3D. So this one is where your trigger is, which is in that folder we just next to the XML we just opened. So right here is your i3D. So your placeables XML calls this. This calls your i3D, which is this is calling the i3D right here, which is this, which is the trigger. So this is what we need in our map, but I want to show you how to find out where to place it. Okay? So if you don't know, some of them are obvious and some of them aren't. Okay? And you can do it one of two ways. You can import that and bring it in, or you can just come in here and drop it in like I did. So it's up to you, whichever way. And then you're going to have to put it there wherever it goes. So minimize, and in this case hit Control B as in boy, left mouse click, left mouse click. You're going to have to come down here and know which one it goes to. Now I don't play the game, so I'm going to have to look at it and think for a minute. Let me look at it, open it up. I don't get to play this area anyway. I do play the game some, and I will be playing the new fish stuff, but let me look and see what we got. Bell trigger, pallet and bell trigger. Alright, unloading. So to me, unloading's going to be over here, and that would be loading if you were loading it. So they technically, this must not even do anything. So you're going to want this where your loading spot right here is going to land over here on this. I don't think it goes to the back. I know there was something back here that could have been, I thought, a loading thing, but apparently they didn't. I don't know if it went back here. I would assume it goes over here. So I'm going to put it over here. Okay. So you're just going to get it and bring it. Get it with this. I would go on and get it with this and bring it. And then do it like that. And then just get it lined on up. Come on up. And see. Now I don't know if it's going to be backwards or not. Like I said, we'll have to test in game because I don't never get to see it. So this one I'm not sure on the direction. I don't think it really matters. Alright, so let's get down there and try to look. Make sure it's not floating. It looks like it would work. Looks like we're low enough that well, we might could go a hair lower, but I don't know. I think it looks low enough. If it don't work, adjust that. Make sure you go up or down accordingly. Okay. But this don't show a loading thing. What is going on? This shows a straight concrete. You see what I'm saying? The only way for me to know that's to go in Riverbend. There is no way, but I'm assuming it would go here then. Because it has a grate. Control B. Bring it over here. Let me see. Let me back up where I can actually see what's going on here. I'm thinking there, but I don't know. I mean, you could technically put it where you want it, you know, but I just don't know where it really went. Because like I said, I ain't been in there. So I'd have to actually wait and go in there. We'll have to look. We'll show it working. I'm going to assume it don't go there because of the way that's straight. That just don't make sense to me. Let's go look at that other one and see if it has a grate. Nope, it's all concrete too. You know what? It brings it in with it. I just thought of what it does. So I think it does go here because it brings the grate itself in when it comes in. I need to undo that back to here. Just undo it until it gets back over here. Should be getting there. There we go. Alright, so that's what it is. It'll bring in the grate thing when it comes in. That's just not showing up right now. Alright, so that's good. That's probably where it goes then. Just put it as best you can. Try to line it up. You know, I think that's should be okay. I mean, we could scoot it over a hair. Just to eyeball it. I think we could scoot it over just a little. About right there. Alright, so that's good. We can hit save at this point, and then we're going to get the numbers and put them in the placeables XML. Alright? And then, like I said, if it's backwards or something, you can spin it around. It ain't that big a deal. Now, do we have a teleport node? We need to check that. That's something I should have already checked. Click the teleport mode, because I bet it's supposed to be over here. And it's got us going over here. So, that's not going to work. Okay? Alright, so that's a problem. So, the teleport node was supposed to be probably at this door is what I'm going to assume. Let me see how close it is to that. Yeah. That's pretty far, though. Where would they be teleporting me at? I mean, I don't want to really move it. I'd rather rotate it. Let's rotate it. That's what I would say do. Get the whole thing and rotate it. And then pull this back around. Like so. And just see. We'll see what it does. Because it's probably going to line that up where it needs to be, is my point. So we just pull that over, pull that up, twist it some more, line it up some more, and then we'll get on down so we can actually see close enough so we can go the right direction. It's kind of hard when this is way over here, so we're going to have to back up a little. Alright, scoot it over a little more. Alright, I think that's good enough. Let's look at the top so we can see. I mean, that's in there. I don't know where it's landing on this side, though. I think it needs to come this way a little more. Up to there. You can see it's crooked a little bit with that line. So we'll just scoot that just a little bit. Alright, I think that's good enough. That one's passed. Okay, we can scoot it back just a hair to where it lands exactly on top of there. And then on there on that side. Okay? Now, that ought to be good. So we're going to go ahead and grab the numbers. Make sure you get the whole thing. Going to click to the end. You're going to hit Shift Control C as in cat. And then you're going to go ahead to your where you were in your placeables XML. Okay, I had opened something, so you need to go back to wherever your placeables XML is in your map, and then right click at it with Notepad++, come in here, go to the position area, highlight it, right click and paste. Then you're going to hit, you don't got to hit save yet. Go back to here, click to the end of this when that's still highlighted, and then make sure this is highlighted at the end. Shift Control C as in cat. Go back to here to your placeables thing. Click here, highlight this, right click, and paste. Now you can hit save. Now you're ready to go in game and check it. And then I'll show y'all where the in game actually is. Because, yeah, that's a pretty good ways away. So, alright. So let's go in. I don't think I saved this one. Let's save it and make sure. Let's save it because you need to save it. So let it do its thing, give it a second, it'll take a second. And of course if you need to, paint the ground and all that good stuff. I'm not worried about that though. So now we're going to go on in to the game. Take a second because it hasn't opened today. And get that going. There we go. Appreciate everybody. Smash the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Stay tuned. There's going to be a lot more coming. It's just, I'm trying to get into some more big stuff, but I want to finish up this basic stuff real quick before I do. And then I'm going to go into hopefully some more custom work. And of course, we still got to worry about the roads and the water and all that. So I don't want to get too sidetracked. But I'm trying to answer a few questions. Some questions have been asked, and I'm trying to answer some of them. I'll do my best to do it as quickly as possible, but it may take a little more time because it's a lot more I got to get done. So hopefully, hopefully so far you're learning. Alright, so as soon as it gets in there, we'll be ready to go. Won't take long now. Alright. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get started. Confirm. Alright, so let's escape and head off over here. It should be here. Alright, so you can see it don't have the manage or the tag. I mean the buy, because it's a selling point. So we can tag it and we can visit it, and it's got that picture because we put it in the placeables XML. And I just realized when I was loading what it was I forgot to do when I was trying to figure out where that went in the Riverbend Giants editor one. I was supposed to make a transform group and put that number that the placeables XML had for that trigger, and then it would have put that transform group exactly on the spot wherever that trigger would have been. So then I would have knew, okay, it's right there. So I'll show you after the end of this. But I'll show you both. I'll show you in the Riverbend, and then I'll show you in the Giants editor real quick, just for the people who want to know. I've shown it before, but I couldn't think of it when I was in there a while ago. But let's hit visit, and here we are. It put me actually right on the spot, so it didn't put me where the teleport was saying. I guess it was highlighting there, and I just didn't realize it. But it put me here, so that's okay. I'm fine with that. It teleported me there, and as you can see, it has the little grid. So as long as you centered it good enough, you'll be happy. I could have moved it. I could have actually moved it over a little more. So you can see I needed to come this way just a little bit. But you can see you could easily fix that. Go back and move it, and then change the numbers and hit save, and then change the numbers in the placeables XML, and then it'll move it. So, and you can change the height if you need to go down or up with that little thing. You can see mine looks like it's at the decent height. The trigger showed up, so that part's good. But I'm assuming it goes here. Like I said, I hadn't molded everything, but you can see what it looks like compared to what the other one looked like, and I'll have to mold this into what it needs to be. You also can use the road that they had for this area, so long as you had brought all this in. Then you just got to mold the ground accordingly, and then we could put like a road here if we want or whatever. And I don't know why they put this back here if they didn't do anything with it. Like, we could totally put a sell point here if we wanted to or something. Like, they got this grid here, we could paint that with something under it, and then put some sort of point here if we wanted. We can build this up and make a road come out over here, but you can see what my idea was to have it look like, so we could see out that way. But that's what my goal was with this. And then there's that thing we did on the last episode. But anyway, as you can see, that's what it looks like. I'll jump out real quick just to see where that other one was. I'm assuming we got it in the right spot, though. I'll show you the Riverbend one, if it's there or not, and then I'll show you the Giants editor thing. Alright, so that's it for that one. Let me move back a little so we can get a good visual of it real quick. There we go. And you can see that one's done. Oh, the ball's up there. Yep, we don't even have to add it. As you can see, it's up there. So we could technically run up there and you could use the ball. But anyway, so let's go ahead into the Riverbend one just to see if that's there, where theirs is, how low it is, and all that. And then we'll jump out and I'll show you that other trick. But you can see it's got the icon, so you know it works. And it's the selling station icon, or you could say tip station, because that's what the purple one is. Versus these other ones are the production ones. Okay? Huh. There it is. It's up here where they made their own little water spot. So they didn't even put it by water. They made a little separate spot. You see, it only has the picture and the visit and the tag in here. So when you visit, you land here. Same spot. So if you back off, it's the same spot I put it, except they centered theirs a little further over. Like I said, I could move that back, and then I would have been perfect. And you can see they put theirs a little further. They didn't even center it equal. This one's a little wider than this little piece. You could center it. You don't even have to do it like they did. You could, but you can see the height is pretty much right there. Mine was pretty much right there. You can see that's where it lands you when you spawn. So we were right about that, but I want to go quickly show you how to do that in Giants Editor. So if you didn't know, without having to go do it, you could find out quicker, and I'll show you real quick. So let's escape and get out of here and show you real quick in Giants Editor, and then we'll be done. Hope you enjoyed. Hope it's helping you. I'm trying to teach you some little tricks and things to help you. Let's go see. It'll show you where to put that trigger. Now technically I already closed that other one, but I can show you with this one. Pretend this is Riverbend, okay? And you go in and you're like, I don't know where to put it. Well, go in that open Riverbend map like we had it, and pretend this is Riverbend. And pretend, since I know I already have my placeables, you would go to their placeables XML. So in their case, you would go wherever their placeables XML is. So data, maps, maps US, config, go under their placeables, right click edit with Notepad++. And then you would use these numbers in the Giants Editor of their Riverbend map in the Giants Editor. And then this one would tell you, you don't got to do that one, but these numbers here would tell you exactly where that trigger needs to go. So you would put them within this. So I'm going to use mine, but you would be using the main game one. And since I already put mine where it goes and it was correct, I can use mine just as an example to you. So I would use this XML number right here. So you come in here and grab that number, right click and hit copy, go back to here, and you're going to create a transform group. With it highlighted, you're going to come to the translate X box and paste that number you copied in right there. Go back to where you were and get the next number. Right click and hit copy. Go back to the Giants Editor, paste that in the Y. Then you're going to come back. You're going to grab the next number. Make sure you're on the right trigger. Right click and hit copy. So you're going to be on that trigger. Then come here, paste that in. Right click and click paste. What is going on? It's not even lining up. Oh, they stuck it over there. Uh-oh. Are you kidding me? So they stuck it from here and not the little thing. Interesting. But hey, that would get you close. This right here, see this transform group? It would have got you close to where it was going to go. Then you would know, okay, you know, this side. So if it would have been over there, you would have knew it was that side. But usually, the wherever the little number is, you could have used it to find it directly. But since they had it on this other number here, they didn't have it within a 0 transform and then within another number separately moved. That's why it did that. You see? So you would be close but not perfect. It would help you get a little closer to know where it goes. But the Riverbend, if you go in Riverbend, will give you the best example. Then you know exactly where it goes. Alright? But anyway, we're going to go ahead and call that a video. I hope it helped you. I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Please hit that like button, subscribe, turn on your notification bell if you want to receive a notification every time I post a video. Goodbye, everybody.